All right, I'm ready now.
Okay.
5 seconds of absolute silence. Wow, disrespectful. Honestly.
That silence was absolutely awesome.
Hello and welcome to WayTooBroad, a show and tell program for really, really ridiculously excited grown-ups. I'm Hannah, and these are my co-hosts, Erin and Ben. Hi, Erin.
Hey, I took a little nap during our 5 seconds of silence. What's up, Ben?
What's up, dude? How's it hanging?
Wow. Wake up, everybody. It's time to wake up.
We're energetic.
Bro! Bro!
It's a Sleepy Thursday edition of WayTooBroad, but not really. I promise we'll be super high energy. Don't turn the podcast off. But I was thinking, I didn't want to say it because of how we were doing 5 seconds of silence. Before the episode starts, for anybody that doesn't know this, because we only ever kind of obliquely refer to it, before we start the actual podcast proper, between when we do the little chatting stuff and when we do the actual, like, introduction, we try our fucking best to stay silent for at least 5 seconds.
It's really
I
hard.
don't know that I need the energy that you're giving off there.
What?
I don't know that I need that energy.
I don't like this accent. Well, no, I do like it a lot. But okay, so but anyway, we try and it's usually good. It's so like to help me with editing, so I have like room tone, right? But this time Erin and Ben were both being like and like
Ben was doing it.
But you were laughing at it, which is also annoying.
What, are you gonna ask me not to laugh?
Funny as hell.
Anyway, I was just thinking about like all my elementary school teachers and just like feeling empathy for them in that moment. That's all. I wanted to be like, the longer you fuss, the longer we'll have to do quiet time. Like, but I didn't.
It really takes me back to you and I as youths. I remember being in scenarios where we were supposed to be silent, like going to bed, or maybe even like we had some church scenarios where we were supposed to not speak, and just finding that to be a source of uncontrollable laughter. Like, just a true vein of humor that is inexplicable.
Impossible to... Yeah, that is true. That was very classic us.
Yeah. So, we haven't gotten much better as adults.
No. Well, okay. So, I have upfront stuff. Oh, wait. What are we drinking? Who's first? Hold on.
I'm last.
This is why I made the outline.
First shall be last.
Yes. Ben is first. Ben, what are you drinking?
Ice water.
Nice.
It's a Thursday. What do you want from me?
Ice water.
What do you got, Hannah?
I have also very Thursday type drinks. I have water, no ice, and again, just a tiny bit. I only ever.
Oh my god! Like a one sip.
And I have a orange mango Spindrift.
Nice. She really had to read that label, listener. Really read it.
Yeah, I looked at the bottom because I feel like that's usually where the flavor is with a not on Spindrifts, but like in general. Mm-hmm. But it
not
just,
on Spindrifts.
Yeah, it just says "Yep, that's it" on the bottom. So that's not what the flavor is. So I was confused.
Yep, that's it.
It doesn't say how many oranges and mangoes on this one.
And mangoes. Does it normally say?
Yeah, it does. Usually.
No, it says at the top. It says like 4 strawberries and some sparkling water.
Yeah, this one just says sparkling water and real squeezed fruit.
I've never had a can of Spindrift in front of me while I'm eating a bowl of cereal, which means I've never really read the Spindrift can. Am I right?
Hey, bazinga!
You know what I mean? Am I
got him.
right? Am I flipping right?
Oh my god, so relatable. Hashtag so relatable.
You gotta have something to read when you're having a bowl of cereal. You gotta.
Oh, That reminds me. Wait, let's get through what Erin's drinking, and then I have a real quick upfront thing I want to talk about that's really upsetting me.
Oh, okay, great. Erin, what are you
He
drinking?
ain't got nothing to read while he's eating his bowl of cereal. I have a cup of French macaron tea. Wow, vanilla bean macaron tea. Sorry, not the French.
Please stop lying.
You never get the name of that tea right.
I drink it all the time. The French have nothing to do with this tea. Okay, I'm sorry. And I've got the ends of a GT's ginger ale kombucha, and I've got a formerly iced water, now just condensation water. But on the outside, water on the inside.
Oh, I have an update on the Spindrift situation.
What's going on?
Producer Ian heard me saying that I didn't know what was in it, and he sent me a picture of the box, which says that they squeezed 1 real orange and 2 slices of mango into this 8-pack of sparkling water. So that is really not a lot of fruit compared to...
Does it always only say it on the box?
Maybe.
Is that what we were thinking of?
Maybe. I can do some research later. I have another flavor out there.
I don't got time to read the box of the Spindrift. I haven't had a bowl of cereal in months.
How do you read books without cereal?
I haven't read a book in months.
All right, cool.
Ben's got an up front.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what I do a lot when I'm eating breakfast is I play solitaire on my phone on that little app that we've all been playing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find that episode number.
I don't know. Wow, I actually was just in the middle of finishing a solitaire game while I was pooping, and when I opened the app, it was finishing the animation.
I love that.
I've now reached 50,000 coins, by the way. But that's unrelated. God. That's unrelated to my upfront. So they very recently updated it.
Oh, they did?
They did. And there's 2 particular things I noticed. So first of all, the app takes up like the whole screen. And what it used to do is, like, you know how there's like the little, on your phone, there's like the little top bar and the bottom bar that has like the buttons you can press, at least on like an Android. Those were like bleeding onto like the game before. So they were like covering up like half of some of the buttons. Mm-hmm. They fixed that. What they also did was that they introduced ads between every game.
Oh no.
So now when you click new game, you get an ad, and a lot of them are like the fucking, you have to wait 5 seconds to hit X, and then afterwards it opens up a demo of the game that you have to wait 5 seconds to hit X out of for that also.
Oh no.
And it's really upsetting because a lot of the times my morning routine is eat breakfast while listening to a podcast and playing solitaire.
That's devastating.
And I keep fucking having to pause my podcast for these loud ads.
Can you buy the game and not have ads?
I don't know. I don't even know if there's...
I'm so surprised that they're still even updating this, because I remember... Okay, for anybody who... So, Erin, I think, probably has the episode number right now. The app is called Solitaire Decked Out. And
it's from episode 118, Remember That Time Your Voice Got Deep Like the Devil.
I do remember what that name is about.
Yeah.
And it's a really, really good solitaire game. But I did a deep dive. I don't know if I did this before or after I brought it as my obsession, but I really looked into the developer. They're called Dev Sisters. They're in like South Korea, because I wanted to know if they had other games that I would like as much as this solitaire game. And they were really pushing a lot of other games that did not look interesting to me. They were like barely featuring anything about this game. It seemed like it was one of the first things that they probably did. So I'm surprised that they're even updating it at this point, honestly.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I haven't been playing it a ton, but I wonder if mine updated, because I also have it on iPhone, so I didn't have any of the troubles that you mentioned before.
I didn't have those troubles either personally, but so I don't know if mine has updated yet.
I mean, those weren't even I didn't really care about the things where it like covered half of the buttons sometimes. Anyway, it didn't bother me. I got used to it. Also, they made it. Oh, they also made it so like when you click a card to move it, it moves a lot faster now. Which again, I don't really care about. But just seemed like a weird change. And then the ads really broke my heart.
Yeah, that's
It just
very sad.
like sucks now.
Yeah, that was something that was so nice about it. At some point in the future, not tonight, because I feel like we'll need to prepare our listeners for it a little more. We should maybe do like a retrospective episode that is less like we've done ones in the past where it was like, what were our favorite ones? Maybe we should do like a retrospective, like here are some things that we were obsessed with that have in the subsequent time become like problematic or
Terrible.
become less cool or whatever. Like just go through the index and stuff. I have some that I just won't get into right now. We talked about some of them, like Bon Appetit and stuff. But
oh man, broke my damn heart.
I know.
All right, I just finished a game. Let's see. I'm getting a fun little animation. I'm gonna see if I get an ad. Maybe it doesn't apply to Apple, or maybe it hasn't updated yet. New game. Yeah, nothing. Still the app that I love.
Don't update it.
You're blessed.
Maybe when you get to 50,000 coins unspent, they reward you with ads forever. So this is really your fault.
Yeah, I wish I could spend my coins to not have ads anymore.
Yeah.
That would be good. Maybe for 150, this is episode 145, so maybe when we get to episode 150, since we usually do like something on those like milestone ones, we'll do like a retrospective, like which of these obsessions suck now type thing.
Sure.
I think that would be good. Okay, I have a story for you guys.
What's up?
For you all. For you too. I'm trying to stop saying you guys. It's really hard. For you too. So, we got our first tomatoes from our garden this week.
Hey!
Yeah. They were
cool.
really, really good. They were big, really dark. Like, they were red on the bottom, but like kind of purplish on top. I don't know what kind of tomatoes they are, but they're like delicious. So I had been saving this nice like ball of fresh mozzarella for just this moment. So I made us like a little caprese salad thing yesterday, except I was too lazy to go out and get fresh basil. So it was just the tomato and the mozzarella and the olive oil. And I had sliced it all up, and when I brought it over, because they were like big tomatoes, I brought like a sharp knife for both of us, for Ian and me. You know how, and like, little plates we could serve ourselves and cut it up all nice. So, you know how like there are kind of like 4 different categories of knives in your kitchen? There's like butter knives, steak knives, big like kitchen knives for like chopping or specialized things, like the kind of one you would like pick out for a murder.
Sure. Yeah.
Like chef's knives, stuff like that. And then there are the like
Serrated
small
knives. Like steak knives.
Steak knives are the second one I said. But then there's like the 4th category, which is like the small sharp knife, but it's not serrated. I don't know what those are called.
Like a paring knife.
Yeah, but yeah. So I brought.
Are you unsatisfied with paring knife? I'm sorry.
A paring knife is like especially small, but I also have ones that it doesn't matter. The point
like
is,
a utility knife. I got you.
Yeah,
we understand. A little sharp knife. We don't need to spend this much time on the knife.
Right. The point is,
you don't know.
The point is, I had 2 sharp knives in my hand. Okay, and they were not serrated. They were just like sharp all the way down. Right.
You gotta have a serrated knife for a tomato, though.
Well, I already cut the tomato, so it was just to like cut through.
Oh my god, how long are we gonna spend on this fucking knife?
Sorry, so what was this knife for? Sorry. It was making it nice.
It was for cutting up the actual, like, so like you put on your plate a slice of tomato and a slice of mozzarella, and then you cut that into bits so you can eat it. That's what it was for.
Great. All right, perfect. Okay.
So, I want to preface the rest of the story by saying that every individual involved in it is fine. Nobody was hurt.
Okay, great.
But what happened was I sat down on the couch and I had my knife in my left hand, and on my side of the couch, my left hand is also like the arm of the couch, and Squeaks has to jump up onto the arm of the couch in order to get up to where her food is. And she chose exactly that moment of when I had the knife out right on the corner of the fucking armrest to jump up. By the time I realized she was there, she had pressed her own chest into the tip of this sharp knife.
Oh my god.
Like, I just looked over and she was trying to stab herself with my knife in hand.
Sweet.
So, like, I pulled it away and it was fine. Unfortunately, it wasn't, like, the sharpest knife that we have. And we checked her, like, a million times. Plus, like, if a cat was suddenly in pain, like, you know, you hear it. So, she's fine. But it was
what
terrifying.
kind of knife was it? And in relation to the other knives, could you go through those again?
It was a utility knife.
Okay. Not a paring knife.
Is that larger or smaller than a bread knife?
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, it was really freaky. It was really quite scary. But yeah, she was fine, so it was good. Oh my god, Squeaks. She's trying to kill us and herself.
Squeaks.
But it reminded me of that song from Chicago. He Had It Coming, when she's like, and then he ran into my knife. He ran into my knife 10 times. You know that? Yeah.
Can I give a quick update to Ben? And this is why I didn't really pay attention to the beginning knife portion, which is why you had to go over it a couple times. I'm just Googling about Solitaire Decked Out. In the Apple Store, it's called Solitaire Decked Out ad-free. In the Google Play Store, it's called Solitaire Decked Out. And ever since the beginning of August, there are a ton of reviews that are like complaining about the ads. I'm deleting it. Like, just, I keep scrolling and I haven't hit the bottom.
In the Apple Store?
In the Google Play Store. Here, I'll put a link to it.
So
people are upset.
Is it still ad-free?
Oh, yeah, like from the past few days.
From the past few days. I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. This used to be the best app. Now there's ads. Was good before the commercials. I used to love this game, like, page after page after page since the beginning of August. Like, I keep scrolling and I haven't hit it yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not alone.
Yeah, and they've been replying to some of the comments. So, I don't know, maybe add your voice to it and be like, I'm gonna delete this, but I would play it if I could buy it, right? Like, how much you pay? Like $5 to, like, play it, you know? Play without ads.
Yeah, give us the paid option without ads. We would pay for it. It's worth money.
Yeah. So,
yeah, it's a good fucking app.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe there's some hope. John M. played it for 4 years, racked up over 10,000 hands played. It was his go-to 3-minute distraction. Now I get distracted from the game because of the ads. Please get a handle on this soon.
3-minute distraction?
Otherwise, I'm
Speed it up.
Otherwise, I'm out of here. Either fewer ads or a way to pay to get no ads.
This one says, so this person is complaining about the ads between every hand, and then Dev Sisters replied, thank you for your feedback. We take this feedback very seriously and will consider this in coming releases. We've added, quote, minimal ads in order to support future versions of this game with new and exciting features.
New exciting features, like, no one's gonna fucking play it because no one wants to look at an ad.
So does that mean that, so the Apple Store one continues to stand by its promise of being ad-free?
It seems to be the case, yes.
What the fuck?
At the time.
I wonder if that has to do with the fact that, like, it's much harder to get things on the App Store than it is to get things on the Google Play Store.
Yeah.
So I wonder if, like, it's also harder to update things like that.
Oh, Ben, here's an option to get an ad-free version. Buy an iPhone and then install the app on the iPhone.
No!
Fuck you, Erin!
I'm so mean.
They've still got 4, and they've still got over 4 stars right now, but I think that's not going to last very long.
It's gonna tank!
Yeah.
Yeah. So, add your feedback, put your voice. I mean, this is an impressively long thread. If I were them, I'd be paying attention to this, you know what I mean? Like, this is like, did you scroll down to the bottom of this? Like, takes a while to get
It's a lot. I didn't scroll through all of it, no.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a while to get to a place where people aren't complaining. In fact, I haven't yet.
Wow.
So.
Because people really liked it. I feel like maybe if this is one of their, like, less, important apps to them, maybe they just didn't realize how many people actually liked it the way it was. Although they should have that data, so.
They should have known.
Yeah.
They should have known.
They should have known.
Why didn't they know?
They ruined your breakfast. Aw.
They ruined my breakfast. Why were they so mean to me?
Oh man.
Okay. Let's see. Do I have other upfront stuff? No, I don't.
Any Outback stuff?
Well, that's for later, Ben.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot the flow of the show.
Wow.
Should we pop in then?
Let
Ben
think
talk now?
Yeah, I guess so.
What you got, Ben?
What up? What's up, B-Dog?
Wow.
I look forward to seeing your facial reaction of 1 to 2 seconds after I hear your voice.
I got another small one this week. Well, last week was a small one, but this one's a small one because, as mentioned last week, I've been working a lot on this project at work, learning a whole lot about how USB works.
Cool.
Which is a slog, but also gratifying to some extent.
Nice.
Made some major headway on that today, in fact, that project, so I'm feeling good.
I have a USB question since you're kind of the expert now.
Yeah.
Why is it necessary to turn a USB 3 times in order to successfully plug it in? 3 to 4 times. Impossible in the first one, somehow impossible when you flip it over, and then sometimes impossible the other time, and then one more flip sometimes. Well, why is it the science behind that?
That's part of the standard.
Oh, okay.
That's written into the USB standard, is you have to make the plug so you need to flip it at least 2 times before it will plug in correctly.
Awesome.
It's
cool.
It's kind of like for redundancy thing, like make sure someone really wants to plug it in, like make sure that they're really committed to plugging their device in.
That must be tricky to implement. I could see some design challenges around that, but all of them do it, to spec, so that's impressive.
Yeah, exactly. You have to release a product as a USB plug. It has to meet the specs. So.
Is there someone who's in a lab testing out every single one and be like, yep, no, couldn't plug it in 5 times this one.
Yeah, there is. Cool. At the USB factory.
Nice.
Yeah,
USB
so I've been working on that a lot.
USB, a US business. Okay, continue.
It's actually not a business. Fun fact. It's like a conglomerate of people in the industry.
So it's like a co-op?
Kind of, yeah. It's like I think it's technically called USB. What is the IF? It's USB IF is the name of like the foundation that USB Implementers Forum is a non-profit organization created to promote and support the USB, and they also like release all the standards.
Huh.
And it's like volunteer committees that come together and decide what the standards are going to be. It's kind of an interesting whole thing, and that's actually, this is not my obsession, but that I think I mentioned a while ago that the guy I work with, Jim, was on like the committee for a competing like bus standard to USB a while ago before USB like became the thing everywhere. And I think it was FireWire actually that he was on the committee for. And he and many other people in the industry thought that USB sucked and FireWire was way better. But USB just kind of won out partly for like political reasons, like just being better at promoting their thing than FireWire was.
They had better lobbyists.
Honestly, yeah. Anyway, that's just a fun electrical engineering history fact. But my obsession, so I'm working a lot, and then I wanted to like do something after work to get my mind off USB. And
it sounds like something. It sounds like something that like a toddler would say after having watched their parent work from home for like these 5-6 months. Be like, I gotta do something after work to get my mind off of all the USB, you know?
No idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Who's saying that? The toddler
Yeah.
is saying that?
I don't think the toddler is... I see what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
Why does the toddler even know what USB is?
They don't. They're just, like, saying, like, business words.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They've overheard USB and they're like, yeah.
It sounds like not actually a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. That would be adorable, actually, now that I think about that scenario.
Yeah, if I can think about it for 1 second. Jesus.
His mind hasn't been disconnected from USB yet today. So.
Yeah.
Give him a sec.
You got.
And also recently, while
you did, I'm sorry.
While watching, wow, everyone shut up. While listening to the Adventures, while listening to the Adventure Zone, and really enjoying the music, I watched a Q&A that Griffin did from last year's Max Fun Drive about making music for the Adventure Zone.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, I just basically was like dicking around in GarageBand a lot. I think I mentioned this last week. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I have a Mac. I have GarageBand. Maybe I could try just dicking around in GarageBand and seeing what I can do. Oh. And so I've just been like kind of learning how to use GarageBand. And the first thing I'm trying to do is like recreate a song that I always have stuck in my head, which is the Cosmo Canyon theme from Final Fantasy VII from ear in GarageBand. Wow. And like doing all the different parts.
Cool.
And that's been really fun because when you're doing that, you have to like obviously listen much more carefully. Yeah, so it's fun to like listen really intently to all the different parts of the song. And then also it's like reminding me kind of about just like musical things I haven't thought about in a while. Like I don't really have a good example, just like generally, well, like I guess time signatures and like thinking about music in terms of like measures. I feel like I don't usually do that when I'm just like listening to music, and like while I'm trying to like recreate the song, I have to be like, oh no, that's like at the end of a measure. It's like the last 2 beats of a measure, and then it starts the next bar there, and like
you know, like crescendo, decrescendo.
Yeah, like all like piano, forte, diminuendo, you know, all those words. None of those are relevant.
None of those are real.
None of those are real.
Let's take it a step further. I don't believe in them.
And I mean, and part of like why I've been doing this also, so I've been doing it all with like the software MIDI instruments that are in GarageBand. And part of why I've been working on it is because as part of this USB project at work, so I can never get away from it, we're making the microcontroller appear as a USB audio device to the computer. And you can do that, like you can make your own little MIDI instruments by doing that. By like having MIDI inputs from buttons that then go through USB to the computer. And this is like one of the things that actually Arduino, the company that makes this board, markets this new board as being like really good for audio stuff because you can do things like that. Yeah, so that's like potential in the future stuff that I may want to get into. But for now, I'm just kind of dicking around with GarageBand after work as a way to relax, and it's very nice. I'm just listening to a nice song and trying to make it sound good and sound like the actual song.
That's nice. That's a really nice projo.
It's fun.
Sounds relaxing.
Are you trying to get it to sound like exactly like all the tones and everything, or just like the kind of general structure, and then you're taking some like creative license with like the sound quality of like each tone?
You mean like am I trying to get it like note for note accurate?
Note for note accurate, but also like the pitch and everything, and the like the timbre, like the all of the same, like have it literally sound the same.
No, I'm changing some of the instrumentation to sound how like I'm trying out different. That's the nice thing about MIDI is you can just like swap out the instrument and see if it sounds cool. So I've been doing that a lot just to like see if I can make it sound more interesting to me.
So
sometimes I like to watch I don't know if any of them are using GarageBand or what they're using, but sometimes I like to watch people, you know, make songs. They'll do like, they'll take a clip of some audio from somewhere and then like turn it into like a cool song.
Mm-hmm.
Those are fun. It does seem like it takes a long time if you want to get it like really perfect.
Like,
It does, because you can like, it's kind of fun to be able to like you can literally like just slide the note around and like slide it up and down and change how long it is and everything. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of cool.
Can like really edit it down to like it's
Yeah, you can even edit like the in MIDI it's called the velocity of the note, which is basically like from what I can understand at least, it's like kind of how long it's actually held as part of that beat, or kind of like how hard it comes in. I don't know. I wonder what it means. Like, I can look this up later.
I recently learned that like velocity, and then there's another one. It's like the entrance and exit have different words for them, like how long it takes to come in to 100%, and then how long it takes to fade out to 0%. Both have different words to them.
Velocity is the force with which a note is played, and it is vitally important in making MIDI performances sound human. If used a fixed velocity, it makes them sound mechanical. So like that's what. Yeah, exactly. Like it just like, and right now I am doing everything at fixed velocity. I feel like that's one of the things that I might come back in later once I have like all the parts done and like kind of swap that around to make it sound a little more authentic.
Cool. That's so neat. Fun.
Yeah.
I used Garageband to make our intro and exit of this podcast, although it's just using the prefab loops in Garageband.
It's a good program.
But it's fun.
It is fun. It's really easy to use.
Mm-hmm. It's nice.
Oh, boy.
Wow, that's so fun. Nice. I could just feel how relaxing that is, Ben. Would you share it with us when you get something that you feel shareable?
Sure.
When do you think that'll be? Like, would I be able to put it into this episode, or are we talking like indefinite in the future?
Indefinite.
How long is the song?
I think. I mean, it repeats because it's a video game song, but I think like the main part of it is like 1.5 minutes ish. It's not that long.
Oh, nice. That's a nice.
That's a nice.
Yeah. And then it kind of.
It's one of my favorite amounts of time.
Like one sort of chunk of it that repeats in the song.
Finally, time I can feel good about.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm done. You guys just talk.
No, it was. I'm so sorry. It was a callback for last week. Can you say that again? I'm so sorry.
It's not important. It really was not an interesting thing I was saying.
we did you a favor.
All right, cool. Well,
dope.
Lovely. So what should I call that? Garageband, or do you want to talk about the specific song?
I don't fucking know, dude. That sounds like a job for you.
Oh!
Wow, dang. Fucking got me.
Music therapy.
God.
All right. So should we pop into me now then?
What you got, Han?
Nerd?
Well, you know, I've got like I've been working on some stuff.
Hold on. Ben left.
Wait, what? What happened?
Ben left. I don't know. Did his internet die?
I accidentally clicked on my bookmark bar. To open my email in this tab.
You just yelled nerd and then left.
It was pretty aggressive. He's like gonna drop in, go first, give his obsession, then leave for the rest of it. Alright, what you got, Han?
Well, I was thinking about talking about the project that I was telling you guys about it kind of last week and then just started to today. But I think I'm gonna save it, but just as a preview, I got my first set of they're not watercolor pencils exactly, but they're like you draw like a line and then you go over it with water and it's water soluble, so it becomes a watercolor paint. I got those today, and so I was playing with it because we already have like a waterproof stamp ink, and I've been just like, I didn't show you this, but this was the first one, my first test sheet where I tried a bunch of colors, and then so you know, when I talked about the magic painting books last week, I'm playing around with making some of my own stuff there. And I think that's probably going to be, I've only had like this evening to play around with it. So I've only tried like 1 or 2 different sort of methods. But once I kind of like have, tried some more stuff, I'll probably like bring it back as a fun obsession for me. But
very cool.
Yeah. But this week I thought I would talk about the Umbrella Academy because the second season just dropped, and it turns out I never did talk about it on the show before, and
I never
watched
did
the last
talk
season.
about it.
Well, I never.
Have either of you watched it?
I started it.
The first season?
Yeah. Kylie and I started it, and I wasn't super into it. If I'm being honest with you.
Part of my obsession with it this week is that I think it is a show with a lot of frequently I find that it has a lot of potential to be a really interesting show that it is sort of actively squandering. Like I don't remember the first season that well. I mean, it all kind of came back to me over the course of the second season. But I remember liking it fine and thinking that it was interesting and being a little bit confused by it. But I often have that experience with TV shows that started out as like graphic novels or comic books. 'Cause like there's just stuff in there, which I think it did. I think there's just stuff in there that like isn't for me as a new viewer kind of. But yeah, the basic, let me read you a summary of what the Umbrella Academy is about. The Umbrella Academy, this is from Wikipedia. The Umbrella Academy is an American superhero web television series. It always throws me off when they call Netflix originals web television series. I feel like that used to be like, it's on, I don't know, even what. Based on the comic book series of the same name written by Gerard Way, created for Netflix by Steve Blackman and developed by Jeremy Slater, it revolves around a dysfunctional family of adopted sibling superheroes who reunite to solve the mystery of their father's death and the threat of an impending apocalypse. The series is produced... who cares? So...
Nerds by nerds.
Here's 3 seconds of fucking nerds, and we're done.
And leave the chat.
So I don't want to say too much about either season because I don't want to give anything away for anybody who does want to watch it. But basically, it's these 7 siblings were all quote unquote adopted. They were all born on the same day, and they all have like a special power, and they were adopted and raised by this like eccentric billionaire character. And he like raised them to hone their like abilities. So it's got like kind of some like X-Men vibes in that way. But the first season, when it starts out, they're not like in that phase of their life anymore. They've all like kind of scattered to the wind and left because he was actually like a really shitty father in a lot of ways, and lots of complicated things happen to all of them. And so like most of them have left home and gone and forged their own ways, and they only come back together to because the father dies. So I like that about it, that it's like teen superheroes, but after they're done being the teen superheroes and have like now all these complicated emotions and entanglements to deal with, like, things that they regret that they did with their powers, and, estranged children and husbands, and like, drug problems and all this stuff, that they're also dealing with. Daddy issues, all of them have daddy issues. So that's fun. There's a lot of fun dynamics there. Ellen Page plays one of like probably my favorite character. Her name's Vanya. I think a lot of the acting is really, really good. The first season. Oh, and there's also like in the household, besides the eccentric father, there was a mother figure who like never ages, and that they all really loved. And then there was also like a talking like chimp who was like very intelligent and was like kind of a butler chimp. So you know all the different types of chimps there are. This one was a butler type.
So are the Shakespeare writing type or butler type.
Yeah. So I liked, you know, it's just like the whole aesthetic is very fun. I think I found it to be overall like unpredictable in a way that made it fun to watch. And now I'm thinking more of the second season because like I said, I don't remember the first season that much. But like in the second season, there is immediately, I don't think this is a spoiler, there's immediately a time travel angle to it. So they're completely outside of all the settings that they were in the first season and kind of like scattered across this new timeline. And so that was interesting. It changed up a lot of stuff about all of the characters. Again, all their character dynamics with each other and with like the world around them became very different all of a sudden. There's gay stuff in it in the second season.
Gay stuff?
Molly did mention that to me.
Yeah.
She watched it.
Yeah, there's a really, I think a pretty sweet lesbian storyline in it.
Gay stuff?
But I will say that I think the writing, I can't speak for the first season because I don't remember it, but in the second season, the writing was uneven at best, I would say. Like I really like, there's a lot to like about it. I like the actors and characters and a lot of what they did with it. I like even a lot of it's like the actual interaction generally is written very well and it's very fun to watch, but the overall storyline and some of the like things that they start to bring in don't tie themselves up properly. Like just the overall storyline is not as well thought out as I wish it was, even though the individual episodes can be very fun to watch on their own. And then also time travel is always difficult and complicated, but their time travel hygiene in terms of how they write time travel is just impenetrable, incredibly inconsistent, like very difficult to wrap your head around, which is always kind of frustrating.
Incredibly inconsistent, you said?
Yes.
So it's not good. It's not good.
No, it's not good.
It's not good.
Not good. So that's frustrating. There's like also this, I think I want to say anything more because I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, there were some things I really felt like they were setting up to be really interesting that just kind of like fizzled out and just were not a thing anymore. But yeah, I mean, overall, like it's really fun to watch, and like I'll watch the third season, because I find the characters very lovable, most of them, and like I want to know where it goes. But I am a little worried that they don't have a destination in mind, ultimately.
They're just kind of throwing some stuff at the wall. It's not one of the shows where you feel confident it's been sketched out.
Right. Right.
In advance. Like maybe episode by episode even.
Yeah. But if you're looking for something like We Were that's just like something that is fun to watch, just like something you can watch every night for, a week and not be like, oh God, this is getting boring. This is a good show for that. It's just not as deep as you might want it to be.
Sometimes I want to watch something where I watch it every night and then I'm like, ugh, this is boring.
I know. I mean, I do too sometimes. But not this week. This week I wanted to watch The Umbrella Academy.
The Umbrella Academy.
I do like the fact that both the first two seasons were so different from each other, and they kind of set it up so the third season seems like it's going to be very different again, but they're still like interconnected with each other. I do like that.
That's cool.
Let me ask you a Q. Since there is gay stuff in the second season, if I really didn't feel like watching the first season, could I jump right into the second season, or would that be? Can I just cut to the gay chase?
The gays.
There might be gay stuff in the first season, too. I just don't remember.
Don't queer bait me.
Does this work? There should be a website for this. Is there gay stuff in it? In the first season.
Make that website, Erin.
But it's I know, but it's gotta be like enough gay stuff. I'm tired of slogging through something just to have like a sip of gay, you know?
There is gay representation in the first season, but it's man on man gay representation. And then the lesbian representation is in season 2. And
I also love your use of man on man.
I don't know how else to say it.
It's male on male interactions.
And there's a male intercourse in the first season.
It's not. I mean, none of it really. It's more of a PG-13 type show, so there's not really any intercourse of any kind.
I'm out.
It's not fucking Game of Thrones. So
remember that show?
Remember that show? Either. Man. Remember when that was the worst thing going on, was the end of Game of Thrones sucked?
Remember when that was what everyone in the world talked about, and then the ending of the show was so bad that everyone stopped talking about it forever, and it left very little cultural impact?
That's a big fuck up.
Isn't that? Yeah. It's wild really that like how much that show was talked about while it was on to straight to zero because everyone hated the finale.
Yeah.
And it's like no one rewatched it in the pandemic, right? Like they had such opportunity to have like a...
Why bother? Absolutely, why bother? What the fuck?
Right, no one was like, oh, with all your pandemic time, now's the time to really invest in Game of Thrones. No one has said that. No, a single soul. Not one soul. That's a way to fuck up an ending.
Yeah, seriously. To answer your original question, though, I don't...
What was her original question? Just for the listeners, just hypothetically, if I forgot.
If I could just hop into season 2.
Yeah. I don't think you could.
Okay.
There's a lot of...
I mean, you can. No one's going to stop you.
Yeah, I mean, you can, but I just think you'll be confused.
The feds won't raid my house.
No, definitely not. If that was your question, then yes.
The feds kicked out my door and they're like, if I open up Netflix right now, am I going to see the season 1 has been watched? Am I going to see those little red bars all over every episode of season 1? Or am I going to see them all over all over season 2? Do you want to tell me or do you want me to find out?
And us
it's going to be a lot easier for you.
Definitely not entrapment because we are not feds.
You'd have to tell me if you were.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You'd have to ask, but don't bother because we're not.
Don't even ask.
If Ben is a fed, he's deep undercover in this USB shit.
He's got bigger things to worry about. So, yeah, that's it. Umbrellas. Well, actually, before we move to Erin, Ben, what were you not liking about it? Do you remember?
Nope. It's been a while ago. It's been a while ago since I watched it.
Oh, it's been a while.
No, I don't. It just didn't grab me. I don't remember any specifics on why.
It did take. I have to say, I don't remember. As I've said like 1,000 times, I don't remember season 1 very well. But
how was season 1? Do you remember?
It took me actually season 2's been out for like a couple of weeks already, and it wasn't like I was excited when I saw the second season was out. I was like, oh, I kind of remember watching that. I don't know that I want to jump back in. But then like we kind of didn't have anything else to watch, and I was like, okay, well let's just watch the first episode, see if anything comes back to us about it, and then when we watched the first episode, we were kind of like sucked back into it. So it's possible that season 1 was not that great. Bless you.
Soon.
But I just think it's fun. It's fun to watch. It's just like a good, I don't know. It takes your mind off things, USBs and
Hell
stuff.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I need that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, that's all. The end. Erin, what's your
Nice.
obsession?
Well, I'm gonna pee before I tell you my obsession. I'm gonna leave you in suspense for a moment longer. Please hold.
Whoa. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
What?
There's a big bug flying in here.
It likes your new light.
Yeah, actually, probably does. I don't think it's a bee, though. Ian, there's something in here. Hold on a minute. Oh, I think it's a beetle. Yeah, it's a beetle. I hate those things.
This has been a fruitful interlude. Yo. My obsession this week, I've got kind of like an obsession and then a sub-obsession.
Subsession.
So my larger obsession.
Subsession, yeah.
Subsession. My larger obsession is that I got an iPad.
Nice.
Hey.
Which is something that I have never, ever wanted until last Friday when I all of a sudden desperately wanted it. And that's how I am with like a lot of things where I'll just be like, no, gotta have one right now. And so maybe last Thursday I started thinking about it. And the impetus of it was just like work, really, because I've been doing a lot of like design stuff, not like visual design, but like architecture design stuff. And just all the tools on the computer are just really annoying to use. And I just wanted, and I'm a big whiteboarder, but my whiteboard is like, it's a okay sized whiteboard, but it's, a fixed size. So I kept like sketching things or taking a picture or erasing them. And so I just was like, oh man, it'd be nice to have like kind of like an infinite canvas where I could like sketch out my thoughts with my hand and then not have to like, and then be able to like translate them into, a more satisfying, like, online or like, representation on computer. Mm-hmm. So got it. So I was like, all right, and then there was like a couple other things I could see myself doing with it. And so, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And so I got it. And, I got the iPad Pro with the Apple Pencil. Mm-hmm. And oh boy, let me tell you what, I fucking love this thing. So the surprise thing that happened was like, I started exploring all of the kind of sketching tools just because I was thinking like, oh, I want to use this for work. I want to use it for like diagramming and stuff like that. So let me kind of explore these sketching tools for that purpose only. And so I was kind of like, I had downloaded a few of them and was kind of playing around with them. And then I don't remember so I had, so Hannah and Ben and I and a couple other of our cousins are in this RPG group. And a couple weeks ago when we were playing, I had this like idea about like kind of not a logo for us, but just kind of this like art concept where involving some elements of our gameplay. Mm-hmm. And I had sketched it down and I felt frustrated because I'm like, this is I wrote like, I made this like terrible sketch and I was like, this is like the most life I can give this art concept. I have this rich idea of what it could be, but this is all I can do with this dumb hand. and so, but then I was like, oh, maybe like with the iPad, I can like do some like clip art arrangement and stuff. And so, because I've been trying out these sketch tools and I did some tutorials and learned some basic things about them. So I started doing that. And I came up with something that I felt pretty satisfied by. And I was like, well, that's exciting. And then I was like, well, maybe I can like take this a step further and like trace over, like I had a version where I kind of kept everything in the clip art version. And I was like, maybe I can take it a step further and like trace over the clip art and come up with something even better. And then that looked even better in my opinion. I was just like, this is so great. And the end product was something that I felt like was a pretty great representation of like what was originally in my head. And that's probably like one of the first times I've ever like done that with art. Yeah. Because the art tools in the iPad are so good. They're just incredible.
What app are you using?
So I had tried out a bunch, but my favorite by far is Concepts. What's it called? I think it's called Concepts. That's the thing. I don't even know. I don't know what these apps are called, and they don't like have a big banner.
They're all like
banner.
They're all like art apps.
Yeah. So this one's
Have
Concepts.
you used Procreate?
No, but I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Uses, and a lot of the artists that she follows use on the
Nice.
iPad. It's $10, but it's like a one-time $10 purchase, and it's
Awesome.
really, really good. Apparently,
Cool. I'm gonna get it. Yeah, I've been having the most fun in Concepts, but I want to try out. I'm kind of in that space where I'm still amenable to new things.
That explains a lot of what I see on artist Twitter. Them just talking about procreating all the time. I'm just like confused.
Hannah thought
they do. It is a fucking hilarious name. It's not even. I don't even think it's like pro-create. Like it's straight up just the word procreate.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a smart name.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy the Procreate. So I did the like concept art for the RPG, and then I was like, okay, that was fun. And I'm still kind of digging this like art thing, right? Like it's one of the first times I've like really felt like I've done a satisfying piece of visual art. So like, what can I do next? And so then I was like, well, I'm obsessed with these like caterpillars that we have. And I kind of, with this other piece of art, I traced something that didn't belong to me. And so what if I could make something that wholly belongs to me, even though I'm tracing it? And so I took a bunch of nice pictures, / already had some, of the caterpillars and traced over them and like made more art that I felt like really personally gratified by. Like I felt like it looked good. I showed it to Chloe, my little sister, who is like such a great artist. And she, I was telling her about it and then I sent it to her and she was like, oh my God, I was expecting this to be bad. This is really good. Which is like such a great compliment from Chloe. It sounds backhanded, but it's not. Like, I agree with her. I also expected it to be bad. But these art tools are just incredible. The drawing and making art on the iPad is so forgiving. Everything, in this Concepts app, like, there's a lot of fine-grained control that you can have. I was thinking about that when you were talking about GarageBand, Ben. It's kind of the same thing. Like every line you draw is just a vector, and it can be altered in any way. It can be embiggened. It can be changed. It can be like so. Unlike paper and pen, where you draw something and that's the final word, it's like just the beginning. When you do something badly, there's like guiding lines that you can do. There's like little you can like have it. I don't know what the word is, but there's like a kind of a thing where it'll kind of straighten up your squiggles if your hand is unsteady. And it's just been great. So I've been doing a lot of caterpillar stuff. The latest thing I'm working on is I'm designing. I've been wanting to have a little like container of bookmarks in my Lesbian lending library, because I'll like pick up a book and read a little bit of it, and then I want to put a bookmark in it, or like if I'm loaning it to a friend, I want to put a bookmark in it. So I'm designing custom Lesbian lending library bookmarks that I'm gonna get printed. So I'm just having a great time. I think the only frustrating thing about this is I haven't had much time at all to pursue this hobby. I've had this crazy busy week. I really did like a few hours on Saturday, a few hours on Sunday, and maybe a couple hours on Monday. But I've like ever since then, I've been like super busy and haven't had like any time to spare to work on this. So,
but yeah, I've seen both of those things you described, and they're both very pretty. I'm looking at your caterpillars now.
They're really great.
Thank you. They're just beautiful creatures, and I just feel. But yeah, it's like something that I feel like, when I'm done, I'm going to get like a print for my house, and that feels good.
Mm.
So,
Good job.
Yeah. And then just outside of the art stuff, which has been kind of a revelation of like, with these bookmarks, Molly was like, you should design custom bookmarks. And I was like, I had this moment of like, yeah, but that's not something I can do. And then I was like, that is something I can do. I just feel like this whole like realm, not entirely, but a piece of a realm has been totally unlocked for me, which has been really surprising and delightful. Was that Como?
How did you know?
I feel like I've really gotten to know his particular brand of yell.
It's extremely loud. That's how you can tell.
And so, yeah, so just finishing up, the last thing outside of that whole unexpected revelation is that it has also been really great for, brainstorming work things. I had a really productive kind of like brainstorm that I was just able to like continue unimpeded because I just had this infinite canvas that I could like work on. And so that's been like really, really great as well. And I'm really looking forward to kind of more ways to unlock it. And just surprised, like, how much I'm loving this iPad.
We probably should have mentioned at the top of the episode that this episode is sponsored by Apple.
Where you can get Solitaire Decked Out ad-free. The only platform to offer Solitaire Decked Out ad-free. That's right.
It's like Garageband. And then you were like... Oh, man.
It's true.
No,
but damn, I mean, they really make some good stuff. This like the pencil integration's really good.
Erin
and
is,
like the
I guess
setting
Erin's
up,
sponsored by Apple, but
I am setting up the iPad. I mean, it's like you turn it on, and it immediately like syncs with your phone and downloads all the apps that you like. It takes the last backup from my phone, so I have all the same apps. It already is connected to my Wi-Fi and all of my Bluetooth stuff. I mean, it's good stuff. What a world we live in. Am I right?
Yeah, Kylie's... I sometimes draw a little bit on Kylie's iPad. It's really fun. And she makes beautiful, beautiful art with her iPad all the time.
Yeah, she does.
Could she share some more or can she share it in Family Slack?
Yeah, I can tell her to do that. I can demand her to do that.
I wonder, maybe I'll ask her, I'll coordinate with her, we can make an art channel.
That's a good idea.
Where, we could just...
Can I post my watercolor stuff in there too?
Yeah!
Okay.
And Ian's stuff too. Ian's been making some really awesome art.
we should have an art channel.
Yeah, we should have an art channel.
I'm gonna make one.
Sweet. And just like that, the art channel
I just bought Procreate.
Hell yeah.
See, it's still confusing for me. I'm sure I'll get past it someday.
I just tarnished it. Wow, this is very intricate.
Cool. Should we maybe wrap up before you start using that?
Oh my god.
Sorry, I'm busy.
All right. Ben, what's your homework?
Oh, I don't know. What is my homework? I guess if you have a Mac, just start playing around with GarageBand. Listen to Cosmo Canyon and other Final Fantasy VII tunes. That's good music. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Good shit. Speaking of GarageBand, you can have the little keyboard. That's not a keyboard.
Oh yeah, there's GarageBand on the iPad, right?
Yep, this is it.
Wow.
You're hearing it.
Wow, I love it.
Wow.
I made this song. I'm loving that.
Any social media, Ben?
Oh yeah, Twitter is what's my Twitter? Nicely proved Ben.
Nicely.
There it is. That's my jingle for my Twitter. It's a very distant MIDI piano.
Is that your Twitter handle?
Very distant MIDI piano. Distant
my
Piano,
homework,
I feel like, is a better Twitter handle than my current one.
Distant Piano is very. That's like a spooky Twitter handle.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe I'll make that my name when it comes to Halloween times.
Ooh,
hell
distant,
just coming up.
Grand piano. I don't know. My homework is to if you don't get your expectations too high, watch The Umbrella Academy. Watch The Umbrella Academy, but manage your expectations, I guess is what I would say. And my Twitter and Instagram are both at Anthropology. And I also have another podcast called So Dreamy. We talk about dreams. And that's it.
That's the way the
Erin,
cookie
what's your homework?
crumbles.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to produce my dream for you, Hannah. The one that woke me up belly laughing the other day.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'll try to get around to that. I made a rough recording, but I haven't It needs to be produced.
I'm dying to know what that means. I'm just like, I had forgotten about it. I thought about it all day that day that you messaged me about it.
No.
And then I forgot, and now I've remembered again. So
I'm sorry.
You have to do it.
I haven't had time. I haven't even had time to draw caterpillars. What do you want from me? My homework is to I guess buy an iPad. I don't know. I guess if you have an iPad, check out drawing on it. Or maybe just like, find new ways to be creative. It would, if I were to kind of loop Ben's obsession in here too. Our obsession or our homework is to find new ways to be creative and enjoy
on really
and
great,
unplug.
reliable Apple products.
Yeah, go to ipad.com/WayTooBroad for 5% off your nearest Apple.
iPod.com?
iPad.com. Yeah.
iPad.com.
iPod.com would have been better, but that's not what I said.
Yeah, that reminds me of like Molly's car will sometimes be like, no iPod connected, and I'm like, and there's not ever gonna be an iPod connected. Those like maybe exist still, but probably not. I don't think so. Maybe they do. Anyway,
for like children.
I don't have any social media. I changed my Twitch handle back to Erin Bernog because I was popping into a ZFZ stream and it was a subscriber birthday of mine, and I didn't want him to read disco Greg just won awkwardly again, and so I changed it back to Erin Bernog, and he read the one before mine and the one after mine and skipped mine entirely, and I'm like, that's probably for the best, honestly. No one needs to see him go through that. He's probably like, oh god, not this again. Yeah, while you're on your great Apple product, check out Solitaire Decked Out, parentheses, ad-free, only at the Apple Store. You can also head right on over to lesbianlendinglibrary.com to view my catalog.
Wait, I'm sorry.
You got a domain for it?
Go to lesbianlendinglibrary.com. Does
it go to your libib?
It does.
Wow. I can't believe you got that domain. I don't know why I thought that would be taken.
I know. Right? Me too. I was like, fuck it. I'm designing my own bookmarks, so I can't have like earnburn.libib.com because like maybe I'll ditch libib. I have to have a domain that goes to wherever I choose. And so I was like, let's see. $12 a year. I swear to God, domain names are amazingly cheap and so fun to have. It's like the best $12 a year you could spend. And while you're on the internet on your great Apple iPad, make sure to check out maxfun.org. Thank you.
The Max Fun Drive's wrapping up. I think it's over. But
thanks for
your support in Max Fun Drive. Yeah. We got a bunch of new members signing up for WayTooBroad support.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about maxfun.org, which is cruising.
Oh, yeah.
You should check that out too. And if there is a donate button that you find somewhere there, please donate to whoever made that.
There's no tracing information.
Wait, like you like looked at the source code and there's nothing.
There's just nothing on here. I am looking in the source code right now.
I'm sorry. I just felt something on my leg. After I put out that episode last week and I put in special Max Fun Drive episode, Ian was like, are you gonna get in trouble for that? Like, legally? And like, after, like, I know we talked about that on the episode and like, we didn't hear from anyone. I didn't check the email, but I don't think we got any like cease and desists or anything. But it's like, it was the first thing we talked about was how like, it was a big fun joke that was like, and we told people to donate to it.
Yeah,
so
no, I can't. They don't seem like the kind of company that would be litigious.
I would hope not. At least not like when our intentions were so clearly pure. But
right.
Yeah, no, they didn't say anything. So that's nice. So we did see. The thing that kind of freaked me out was we did see like suddenly like a little spike in downloads compared to a normal week, but it wasn't all for that episode. So it was just like somebody downloading our whole back catalog. So it wasn't that. So
who made this MaxFun.org website? This is just pure and good.
They didn't even
and
want
no way
their
to
name
find
on
out,
it
huh?
anywhere. They didn't even
Huh?
want their name on it anywhere.
No, this is just like a really nice little corner of the internet, and it just is what it is, and we don't get to know why.
It's beautiful.
Visit. I'm gonna put that in the forever homework. MaxFun.org.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. So that's it then. So, for the podcast, if you want to reach us, if you want to leave us a voicemail, you can do that. 774-326-0420. Blaze it.
Blaze it.
But don't dial Blaze it. Thank you.
Blaze it.
We're on Twitter at WayTooBroadPod. We're kind of on Instagram at WayTooBroad. We're, you can email us at WayTooBroad@gmail.com. If you missed any of that, if you want to find any of the links, to anything we said, you can find everything and more at WayTooBroad.com for anything you want. EarnBen.com for anything you need. MaxFun.org for all the best stuff in the world. And, that's it. So the podcast candle is now extinguished.
Okay, bye.
Bye. What is wrong with me? I've been sleeping so badly.
Don't care nowhere. Is that right?